there's always been this rivalry between BMX and motocross back in the day. You know, those guys, they'd get drunk after the parties, they'd fight and this, that, and the other. And, you know, and then it calmed out. People kind of grew up. Metal Militia, Brian Deegan, you know, he kind of, you know, he's had this image of he was a fighter and a bad boy and this, that, and the other. And you know, we were humble about it. We let him do his create his own image and do his thing or whatever. But, you know, a lot of people were intimidated by him. And so he called you, or who called you for the fight? Because, you know, he's like, let's say, the boss of motocross, and you'd be the boss in BMX. So the two bosses got a chance to box it out.
Here's how it all went down.
Okay.
PLG, Ellis called me and said, dude, would you want to fight PLG? And I said, let me think about it. Because I get my mind right, so I know, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to commit.
Yeah.
So I said, let me think about it. Called him back in a couple days, said, okay, cool, I'm down. A couple days later, he goes, PLG backed out. And he said, is there anybody else you'd want to fight? I said,
yes.
I said, well, I want a tough guy.
Yes.
I go, Brian Deegan.
Yes.
So I was pumped, for one, that Deegan said, okay, let's do it. So I came out here for 6 weeks.
Wow.
Ready for X Games, straight to Laird's house. Hour and a half in every day, 6 days a week for 6 weeks. My goal was I wouldn't see my kids or wife until I came out.
Wow.
Into the
Rocky Balboa shit.
I know. I was like, that's it. I never, you know, but I studied, took notes, fucking just all day, every day.
Yes.
And the cool thing was I went and sparred a bunch. My kids, I did crack, and they did come out for 5 days. Still trained, but you know what was cool is my little daughter's sitting in the ring, and I'm sparring, getting cracked. And Maddie's my one daughter, oldest 6-year-old. She's like, just watching, not even tripping, going, yeah, okay, cool. And it's awesome. Just to show them that stuff, that it's a sport and fighting. But the coolest thing was, and I Googled Deegan, and he had some hitting bags, MMA. You know, he sponsors fighters, Militia does, and he's been fighting, hitting bags for a long time.
He's in shape, man. He's a little, he's a little guy, you know, but he's fit. He's just as serious as you when it comes to that kind of shit. And so when I heard you guys were gonna get matched up, I think it's the ultimate. I never actually seen the fucking fight,
dude. It was sick.
All I heard, they never aired it, did they? They had commercials.
They did air it. It didn't air till November, but here's the deal. It basically, here's the only bummer thing I got to say about it was that I didn't know this, is that Ronnie Feist was judging. And he only judged Deegan's fight, which I thought at the end, I didn't care about politics.
Right.
But at the end, I'm like, that wasn't really right. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't judge my friend's fight. So, long story short,
isn't he on the Metal Militia?
Yeah. Yeah. And so TJ Lavin was judging. I didn't know he was judging either, but TJ judged. It was Kit Cope, Ellis, and Ronnie. They gave the decision to Deegan. But the coolest thing was, and I'll say this, Deegan matured a ton.
Yeah.
And he's a different person than he was back in the day.
Yeah.
So coming into the fight, we talked a few times on the phone, did the Ellis show, we were good. After the fight, we were like little kids. I mean, it really was like one time in the 4th round, he throws a punch and I just stick him and I see his eyes roll back and I'm like,
you all right?
Damn. I did that, you know, and it was like, and I didn't, you know, so we would, dude, here's the coolest thing about it, this respect that came between us, a bond that nobody else can ever have with you. They can say, they want to win a lot, you know, bad, like me and BMX back in the day, like, I gotta win.
Yeah.
But I said, along my journey, I said, there's people who want to win the most. It's not who wants to win the most. It's who's not scared to lose. Right. So I said, here's the deal. The journey's much bigger than the fight.
That's
and I said, if I lose, I'm going to be a good loser. If I win, I'm going to be a good winner. That's it.